We talked about Prince's estate, which was, he died basically with no estate plan in place,
Right.
really, unfortunately, and obviously much before he thought he was going to pass. And his family fought we thought it was settled, and now, nope.
It's reopened.
They're reopened, coming
Yep.
back out. And so you've really got to dot your I's and cross your T's, because if there are assets, people are going to challenge and go after them.
Yes.
But you sent me an article that was talking about Prince's estate, but it's also talking about your estate plan can have cracks in it while you're alive. So,
Absolutely.
So an actress who, became really famous back in the late 80s and early 90s, Sharon Stone, you sent me an article. Tell me about what happened with her estate.
So she had a major medical event and was totally out of commission, totally incapable of
So
managing her assets.
incapacitated, and
Yep.
basically had a healthcare directive set up, et cetera?
Or
didn't?
not really.
Okay.
That's where the problem was. Her estate was worth $18 million. She claims it's all gone now. She went through this major medical event. While she was getting better, she had no power of attorney. She had not legally appointed a person that could step into her shoes and manage her affairs just like it was, their own money, with legal recourse if they fouled things up. Instead, as I guess happens sometimes when you have that kind of wealth and you don't have a plan, there were a lot of hands in the pot that were just frankly
people think
stealing
they
her
can,
money.
Yeah, and exactly.
It's gone.
They try to justify it. Well, I needed a new car to come visit you and to go take care of your pets or whatever, and they're draining the assets from the estate. And if you don't have somebody, and that's why we always talk about too, is when estates are this size, you should use corporate trustees.
Yes.
You don't use your family friend or your oldest child.
No.
That's one thing. If it's a $2 million estate, if you have a 20 or 30 or $200 million estate, you and I were recently talking with somebody who's got well over $100 million estate.
Absolutely.
That has major problems and no planning has been done. And the idea was wanting to pass it down, and that person is really in jeopardy if they don't take advantage of these windows. So having these documents in place, knowing who is the trustee on the trust, who is the caretaker of your finances and your health care, who gets to make those decisions. How often should someone like Sharon Stone, how often should she have updated those things so she knew what was going to happen?
Well, somebody at that net worth level, as long as they are using a professional organization, certainly you want to interview those people, make sure you're checking in and make sure that that they will uphold what they promised they would do. But I would relax more if I hired a reputable professional firm to handle this for me. However, that's not what a lot of Americans should or could do. If you're going to appoint somebody that's a family member, I would absolutely review the documents, the relationship, the expectations, and the abilities at least every 3 years.
Well, and make sure they're willing to actually do the job, right?
That's a responsibility.
Yeah, it is. And so sometimes people just, name their oldest child, for instance, often as the trustee of the estate and the one that the executor of the will, et cetera. And that child doesn't always want to do that. Or they may have a different financial situation than their siblings, and therefore they're steering the ship and not holding to their fiduciary responsibility, because they are bound by a fiduciary responsibility when they step in that role.
Well,
so you should interview your kids. Which one do you think should do it?
Yes.
Which one would want to do it? Which one has the capability to do it?
And
right?
I like that you said that singularly instead of, well, if I've got multiple kids and they're all a little bit different, let's appoint all of them, give them that power.
No, that can be bad.
No, pick one, but have open conversations. And we talk about this in the class. We call them courageous conversations because they're not easy or fun to have, but be transparent with everybody in the room together. And then when it's agreed that, hey, this is the person that I've selected, then maybe have the one-on-one conversation about more of the nitty-gritty.
No, I have this right now with my mom. There's 4 of us, so I have 2 brothers and a sister, and one of us is the primary on the finances, one of us is the primary on the healthcare, and the other 2 are backups for each.
There it is.
So I handle financial stuff, obviously. My sister's kind of the lead on the healthcare. She lives closest to her, et cetera. But you have to know the responsibilities.